Wrapping up another day, sitting on 4 hours and 50 minutes of focus work. So focus work is when I have minimal distractions, where I'm working on that one thing. There was an additional 2 hours of all kinds of work with when you're tabbing between things. My day began with a cleanup of our CRM. We've got a team overseas, so my mornings are always about catching up on the jobs that were done in the last 12 hours, making sure it's cleaned up, making sure things are responded to, because when I finish the day, a lot of the time that's when the other side of the world begins to work. So if I haven't updated things in a meaningful manner, what I mean by meaningful manner is I record a lot of Loom videos and I explain what I do and why we do it. A lot of the time I'll jump in and change something and show them how to do it by doing it myself. And then those Loom videos go into a wiki Notion where whatever the job was, all the videos are there and stored so people can look back on them. Got quite a lot going on, finishing up 2 very large site rebuilds, one for an accountant, one for a separate cosmetic clinic. The accountant's got like something 600 pages. So a bit of a stressful one to rebuild because lots of traffic already hitting the site. A lot of new pages we're choosing to build, a lot of redirections from old pages. Finally, we've got some really good photos of the team. Accountants are quite reluctant to get in front of camera and videos and whatnot. We've got some early campaigns on a commercial electrician and a health space, a physio. So 2 very serious sites being constructed there. So a lot of pages, a lot of services, a lot of injuries. So 2 landing pages, one for each, to set up a Google ad. That's the kickoff to a lot of my campaigns, is we get a landing page up and running. This is a really cool moment where we try to build as much friction I can with the client and trying to understand how we work, how I communicate, whether it's WhatsApp, whether it's email, and we stress the relationship as much as possible. Hey guys, send me images, do this. We're just pushing back and forth. And so 2 landing pages are up. This is where a few edit requests back and forth, and we're on the right page. Those landing pages actually stem as the new home pages of the new sites. Not fully, obviously, my landing pages don't have menu items. It's a funnel page, it's a sales page, but essentially it shows the core element of what the rest of the site will look like. So a lot of the time I actually skip the Figma phase, skip the design phase, especially when it's an industry that I'm very comfortable with, the local trade space, for example. So I know what those things should look like. I have my swipe files of the world's best electrical sites, both world's best dental sites. I know what they should look like. So because we've got things like Elementor and Beaver Builder page builders, I literally go sit down and build the site that I feel they need with their branding, with their colors. We definitely have Figma designers. Figma's a beautiful thing, but in this case, I know the playbook really well. And so landing pages are approved, text is approved, their brand logos and things like that in terms of who they work with, their customers, so listing brands of their customers that they're comfortable for sharing, industry bodies, awards and stuff like that, connecting the Google reviews to the landing pages for as much trust as possible, finalizing the text. My landing pages, I prefer to have lesser text, but straight to the point. Whatever the keyword we're bidding on is clearly dominant, whether it's physio in suburb, whether it's test and tag, whether it's switchboard thermography, or whatever it is. We're going to pay Google for that term. That term needs to be really clearly evident as a H1, H2 paragraph text and whatnot. Really exciting time for a boxing gym opening up a second location. There are 3 big shifts on the website. We are optimizing the current pages and removing the current suburb from those pages. We're building out a cluster of dedicated suburb pages for the one location and then dedicated suburb pages for the second location. For example, ice bath in suburb, or recovery or sauna in suburb, or boxing classes in suburb. Splitting up the Facebook ads, things like billing are separate, which is great. So separate ad accounts. We're looking back at all of the historic videos that perform the best as the Facebook ads for the boxing gym. So essentially it's like, check out what we did for the first 2 years of our first location. We're coming to the new locations and coming soon. there's a really cool thing that we did, and hope to God this sticks, but we took over a Google listing from the previous boxing gym that was there, that already have 140 Google reviews. So we took over it. I gently changed the name, changed the URL. This is where usually Google will suspend the listing, but it's essentially a rebrand. The colors are more or less the same. So we just got lucky that this location, there was already another boxing gym. So in this case, we're kicking off the campaign with 139 Google reviews, really good reviews. So I can't stress how valuable that asset is. Yeah, a whole bunch of stuff. I'm literally just going off the list of all the things that we did today. We've got a e-commerce Shopify, a local gallery, right? So I'm not a big, I know the basics of Shopify. I know the basics of, I know SEO for e-commerce. It's just not my bread and butter. But in this case, like a flower shop, or in this case, a gallery, the flower shop has local terms connected to it. Florist in suburbs. So you can actually physically walk in, and you can order the flowers online. So that's the kind of stuff that I can definitely jump on and dominate and help and drive the ship. What I wouldn't take on is like lipstick or t-shirts or cosmetics and stuff like that. It's who are we going to go up against? Maya and David Jones? No. So in this case, this is a gallery that sells spiritual products, expensive products, and we're doing a big pivot from the Buddhism direction to just the general enlightenment direction, spiritual healing and stuff like that. So that requires a whole rewrite of the words on the website. And so what I did to begin that phase is I loaded the founders with about 300 brand related questions about the direction and their journey and things like that, because I'm going to need to dip into this for accuracy. These guys are on a different wavelength to me. I can't just create content for them like I can for a dentist or an electrician, right? So their homework is to answer a whole bunch of questions via voice recorder. I will have that stuff transcribed, and then I have forever a barrel of text that I can dip into, whether it's to make Facebook ads, Google ads, main page content, stuff like that. So quite a day. These are the major things. And then obviously along the way, emails, Facebook ads, we fired up some additional creatives for a property investor, essentially promoting Melbourne property to international clients. So I asked the founders to record some basic clips. And at this stage, we're running a campaign promoting parents that are sending their kids to Australia, where the best universities are, where the best places to invest. A hint if you want to buy for investment purposes, for diversifications. So fired up some ads. We added some additional friction questions to the forms. Friction questions in Facebook ads are a must. So it's like, where would you like to invest? How soon would you like to invest? Where are you at in terms of your understanding of the laws? So like 4 or 5 questions. So if they're serious, they're going to inquire. If they're not serious, we would just want to weed them out, because there's a lot of fluff that comes from Facebook ads. And then anything and everything in between. I hope that's helpful to someone. Ping me and I can dive in additional details in whatever direction.